Okay, hello, hello. I'm so excited. I think we're here. I think somebody can maybe verify for me, but I'm pretty sure we're here and we're live and you guys are getting to see us. I'm so excited about today. I mean, I'm a little bit freaked out that we're talking about back to school because it just feels like way too soon. However, I I'm really excited about this topic. It's something I'm really passionate about. I am the mother of 5 children. I'm going into my 19th year of homeschooling, which I do not compare that to the work that our educators do within our school systems. However, I'm passionate about the idea of supporting academic success, supporting the health and the mental well-being of our educators, and really helping our kids. We are in a really weird time right now too, with this year's transition back to school. I think has unique challenges involved with it. So while we do something of this nature every single year, this year I feel like it's even more important. And because of that, I do want to throw out there, if you are on YouTube watching this, you will see some links down below in the description box. We have a Facebook group where all of August we are going to be having Education Month, okay? Every single week, all the posts, so much information coming out to you regarding some of the things I'm going to do an overview on tonight. But think student support, teacher support, classroom, tools and tactics, if you will, as well as tools for the family, because the family is about to go through a big transition. Like some people, I know we're all in different places, right? Some people have been back at school and everything's been great. Other people have not been to school in 16 plus months. Some people have been in this hybrid situation, but overall, I do think that it is going to be a transitional thing, and that's going to impact our families at home as well. So I'm really excited about it. Also, you'll notice for our educators, for our teachers, there is a link there to a Facebook group that is just for teachers. Feel free to join in there. It is all just pure education. It's just us. It's something that we're really passionate about as a collaborative, and we get really excited to share with you. So check those things out if you're interested. They are there for you. They are free. There is nothing going on besides education in those groups. So getting started today with our topic, which is transitioning successfully back to school. And so some of the things I want to talk about today are really, academics. So that's really kind of focusing on the student and what the student can do and what the student, the tools that we need to support our students, whether you're a teacher or a parent, or maybe you're an older student, maybe you're in college, maybe you're someone going back to grad school, whatever it is, really kind of focusing on the needs of them. And then we're going to talk about our teachers because oh my gosh, I think that finally this year, although I wish it kept going, I know you all feel the same way. I hope you feel the same way. I think people are finally starting to understand how hard it is to be an educator. Imagine doing it for the number of kids that they do it with in a classroom every single day. Then we're going to talk about families and how to support them, and tools for success in the classroom. And again, this week or this workshop here is going to be an overview. These are all things we're going to dive deep into all throughout the month of August. So consider joining us for that. All right, I'm going to dive in first with our kids or ourselves and thinking about academics, right? We have a Facebook user here saying, yes, our teachers working so hard. Yes, they absolutely are. They are not recognized for it enough. They are certainly not paid enough. We really do need to be, honoring the position that these people's, the role that they play in our families' lives, in the future of everything, right? Our nation, the whole, All right, don't get me started, right? I'm just going to go back. But it's really, really important that we recognize that. And that's why our group is so passionate about this topic. We have a lot of educators on our team and in our community. And so I think that that's part of why it resonates so much, is there's a lot of support there. So yeah, it makes me happy that we have that. So, okay, academics first. So focus. I'm going to talk about a few different things. You see there's some notes here underneath of each of these little topics that I'm going to touch on, but I'm going to give you guys some ideas and some recipes and things to do. So focus is hugely important. It's going to be a transition, for a lot of kids who Well, first off, some kids did really well in the online format. Other kids did not do well. But let's be real, back in the classroom is going to be challenging to focus again. So much excitement, so many distractions. It's going to be a transition, right? So I have recipes for you guys. That's what I'm rolling through with you today. We've got for focus and concentration. You can write all these down. In addition, like I said, they will be in our Facebook group. So in a rollerball, a 10 mil rollerball, this is something that you're going to apply to the pulse points and the bottoms of the feet. I recommend doing it in the morning before you get dressed to head off out the door for school, but also taking that rollerball with you to school. You can take your rollerball to school. It is not an aerosol situation where other people are impacted. Kids can use it. You can dilute it to the extent that is best for your child. So here we go. Recipe for focus and concentration. I've got 10 drops of rosemary, all about memory, right? Memory support, calming, amazing. We've got 10 drops of wild orange, which is uplifting, but not in the way of like, now you've got a bunch of energy and you're ready to bounce off the walls, in the way that there's like an alertness, a clarity that comes into mind, right? Which really is important for listening, taking in, and kind of staying on task, right? Then we have peppermint, which is absolutely that like, okay, I'm here, I'm in the moment. My husband cannot sit through more than, a 45-minute talk or meeting without some peppermint. He uses it on his tongue, he's using it on his pulse points, but for him, it keeps him kind of locked in to the conversation. So that's really important. And in this rollerball, it plays exactly that role. Then you're going to also do 10 drops of frankincense, which is all about brain health. It's also very calming. So, you want to be, reduce the sort of distraction language in your head, if you will. So the frankincense is going to be an awesome player there. And lastly, the king of everything, which is vetiver. Okay. You are going to hear vetiver just popping in all day during this workshop, or, for however long. I won't take all day, but you know what I mean. We have a Facebook friend saying that peppermint is my power up. Absolutely. That is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Peppermint is like, that's a perfect way to describe it. It's kind of like gives you like a little superpower boost. It's a boost up. It's like that supercharge that kind of, when you feel like you're just like, man, I am falling off. I am no longer hearing anything. I'm just really kind of, I'm done. I've reached maximum capacity for my ability to take in new information, right? Peppermint, you're like, okay, it's like somebody brought in a whole nother tank for you to fill up, right? And you're ready to keep going. It's amazing. So that rollerball is going to be the one that I just shared. 10 of each of those in a 10 mil. You're going to top it off with a fractionated coconut oil, mark it, let your kids use it at home, have them use it before they leave for school for the day. And then you'll see, like, let them start to be in charge of when they want to use it when they're at school. And you'll find like, okay, if they're just like not that math kid, right? Have them use it before they go into math class. If they're not that, the reading and writing kids, right? The kids with the writing and the stress and the anxiety that comes with that, have them be sure to use that before they go into that language arts class, okay? All right, next one is going to be a diffuser blend. So in your diffusers are amazing. Obviously, this is something that is a little bit more specific to at home. However, if your kid drives or if you drive them, this is a great diffuser blend to have going in your car. Car diffusing is truly like somebody who was, I don't know who it was who was saying the power up. Car diffusing is an awesome power up. You're like in a car, it's small, you're taking it in. It's like your perfect little chamber, right? To get you going. I love On Guard in there. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But this blend here is fantastic for so many reasons. Hold on a second. I'm going to let Miss Tammy in over here. Here she is. Okay, so this is bergamot. This is the oil of self-confidence. You're going to do 2 drops. You're going to do grapefruit. So this is alertness, keeping you focused. 3 drops. And then hinoki. I know you're thinking I don't have hinoki, but if you do, if you're someone who always hops on when doTERRA has those exclusive oils and you have hinoki, this is an amazing oil to use here to help to support that calm focus. A lot of focus issues come from just sort of like too much happening in our minds, right? So we want that calm state, but still being alert, which is a really hard road to walk, right? I think anyone who's ever dealt with kids who struggle in this area or themselves totally gets what I'm saying. These 3 oils are going to be that perfect sort of tightrope walking blend in your diffuser. And then don't forget about the things that we have that are already put together for these tools. We have In Tune. This is an amazing blend. It's already in a roller ball. You're good to go. And then one of my absolute favorites these days has been Thinker, which is part of what's called our kids line, but you're going to be able to get this. It's already in a roller ball. It's already diluted. It's ready to go. Your kids as young as early elementary can be utilizing this on the temples, back of the brainstem, on the wrists, a little inhalation, and they're ready to go. The empowerment here is huge. Kids being able to note, I'm struggling right now. Listening to their bodies, listening to their minds, and then having a tool to put to work is enormous. Just the ability to start to feel and understand themselves and listen to themselves and their bodies and what their needs are, and then having a tool, it's just awesome. I think it's just fantastic. And that's where we've really, really seen a big difference with our family. And actually with a lot of people who I work with. It's almost like just knowing they have it and having the freedom to use it. It calms the anxiety that comes with, oh gosh, I don't do well at school. I don't focus well. I'm going to lose, you know what I mean? All of that fear that comes into play. So really consider this for your little ones. Thinker helps me start my day off right. Yes. Facebook. I need to know who the Facebook user is. Yes, Facebook user, I am with you. Thinker, it helps. It's like turn on the brain, right? It's like the little switch. Boom, we're ready to go. Okay, so I want to talk next about anxiety. When I talk about anxiety here, it's a little different than stress, but a lot of kids really truly suffer from anxiety. And here I wanted to highlight for you the Adaptive Collection. All right. The Adaptive Collection is a blend of oils that is put together as far as the 2 oil portions, which is a 15 ml bottle of Adaptive for your diffuser, a 10 ml roller ball for topical use. And then it's not a soft gel. It is a completely different formulation, but there is a supplement. Okay. This little trio has been an absolute game changer in my life. Someone who's had lifelong anxiety. I cannot say enough. You can do all 3 parts, which is what I would recommend if you really are someone who struggles with true anxiety. Okay. Note the differentiation there, right? True anxiety. Or you can use any one part. So sending a kid to school with, or sending yourself, right? I keep saying a kid, but really this is anyone. Or to work, wherever you're going with that roller ball is going to be a game changer for you. All right. It's going to help you and support you through those times when this stuff starts to creep up and it's building and sort of the, fight or flight is triggered, right? That's not what we want. We want you to be able to remain focused and ready to go. I'm going to say it again. I'll probably say it several times throughout this conversation, but this year is going to be different. Okay. Kids who normally don't even have these issues might have some struggles here, right? Especially when we talk about our younger people. If you think about when you were a kid, do you remember how long a summer break was? Like, didn't you feel like you were 5 years older from the time you left school in the spring to the time you returned to school in the fall, right? And then you think about a school year. So imagine, I don't even know how many months we're at now, but what was it, March? I think the kids in New Mexico were all sent home of 2020. And now it's been a long time. And for them, they almost don't even remember all of the world that they were involved in. And they're different people. They're truly different people today than they were when they were sent home from school on that last day. I know they've seen kids like in the Zoom classes and stuff, but you know how it is. It's not the same. We all know it's not the same because we're feeling it ourselves, right? So be a little bit more attentive. And the beauty of the adaptive support system, this is not medication. This is not anything of that nature. This is, you can use this even just as a support before before you start seeing alarming symptoms or things that you find to be concerning. So as far as my kids go and the things that we're doing in our family, the adaptive, especially the rollerball and the supplement, this is just part of life as we're in this time right now. I would rather just have them be supported and have it be a non-issue. And by the way, everybody's doing great. No, it's a non-issue. There's no side effects. There's no problems. Then wait for there to be a problem, for academics to start to suffer, for friendships to start to suffer, for depression or other things that kick in later on in life, meaning, for your teens and beyond. So I love it. Go ahead, Tammy.
I was just going to say that adaptive smells amazing. It doesn't have a funky, oily smell. Like some people go, oh, what's that smell? I mean, it's very soft and pleasant and citrusy and florally, and people aren't going to freak out if you put that on.
No, you're right. It's really quite subtle too.
Yes,
you're right.
It's very subtle. And when you put it on you to help with your anxiety and other people smell it, it helps with theirs.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. Especially I've noticed that, like, if you give someone a hug, right, and you're wearing it, right? I notice that a lot, especially now, because obviously for the past 4 years, I've been super in tune to that. But you'll give someone a hug and you'll pick up on what they're wearing, and it almost like sets the tone for the conversation that follows, right? So it's interesting how powerful that can be. Yeah. And I love, Tammy, you're saying too in the chat that a 10 mil rollerball is convenient and amazing.
Yes.
You're so right. Because I mean, look, this year your child is going back to school after being homeschooled, right? So this is a transition year for you guys,
right?
And I'm sure you're trying to arm them up with everything that they'll allow you to do.
Right. Yeah, we've homeschooled for since second grade, and they're going into ninth grade. So this is like, they're excited, but it's big changes, right?
Yeah.
Not only for them, but for parents too. I mean, we're kind of like going,
oh,
what?
Yeah, that family section is exactly, I'm sure you'll have a lot to lend to that, because you're like in a big transition, right? So I think that it's more than any other year. We're not just doing the like school year, summer break, back to school year. You know what I mean? This is like, okay, whoa, a reset on all fronts.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be an interesting year. I'm hoping for everyone to have a lot of success with it. It might be a little clumsy. There might be a little areas where there's pitfalls and things are a little bit more stressful than normal, but let's arm ourselves to be ready, right?
Yeah, just remember, be kind and use your oils.
Yeah, exactly. So I do have a couple things I also want to share here, which are 2 more roller balls. So if let's say you don't have the adaptive, but you have some other things in your life, right? Other parts of your collection and toolbox. Another reason we're starting this so early this year is so that you have time to get a hold of things. But I love this one. This is an anxiety roller ball. You've got 10 drops of lavender here. If you are not a lavender person, I don't know what it is with lavender. It's the cilantro of essential oils, but I mean, there is a cilantro essential oil, but you know what I'm saying, right? It like polarizes people. You can substitute petitgrain, which I think is amazing. Then you're going to do 8 drops of bergamot. I'm looking at my notes here. 8 drops of ylang-ylang and 4 drops of, let me hear it. We're going to say it a million times. Vetiver. Okay. All in a 10 mil roller ball, topped with fractionated coconut oil. Again, bottoms of feet, temples, pulse, back of neck, right at the sort of brainstem area, pulse points, nice deep breath in, right? And you're ready to go. Another one that I have is sort of a chill out blend. Okay. So maybe you're just needing to kind of, you need a different, maybe you don't have the ones that I just said, or maybe, something else resonates with you. We all resonate with different oils. So this one is equal parts balance, serenity, vetiver, lavender, and Roman chamomile. Again, you can sub out that lavender for petitgrain if you want. Here for that many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would do about 10 drops. You can down it to 8 if you want, and then top off the rest of the way with fractionated coconut oil in that 10 ml roller ball. So between the adaptive, between the anxiety roller ball, and between the chill roller ball, plus remember you're using your adaptive in your diffuser. You're going to be, rocking out some diffuser, solutions at home. It's a little harder at school. That's why we're giving more of these roller balls. But let me tell you something. Teach yourself and teach your family this. If you don't have access to a diffuser, we all know how quickly oils work with our brain, right? Crossing that blood-brain barrier, getting to work really, immediately almost, right? So what you're going to do is you just roll a little bit on the palms of your hand, rub your hands together and do a nice deep breath in. A nice deep full lung breath in through the nose and out, and do it a couple times. Another thing I love to do is have diffuser jewelry, something you can wear to school. Get a necklace with a nice lava stone. I have a great one. Actually, Tammy, you gave it to me. It's my favorite. It's truly one of my favorite pieces of jewelry. It's like a long, I wish I had it right here with me. It's like a long, almost tube. It's really beautiful. It looks like a stone. It's done by an artist, but it does have little holes. And then inside it has like a little cotton, like filter almost, right? And you put oils
in it.
A wick. Thank you. And then throughout the day, I fill it with whatever I want based on what my needs are that day. Throughout the day when I'm out and about, I just lift it up, give it a sniff, and I'm ready to go. It's amazing. So, support yourself with those types of tools or your children. Okay.
Well, and you can buy really inexpensive jewelry at, any of the stores, as long as they have wood or lava.
Yeah.
Then, and it's just a little bracelet. Even the friendship bracelets that are made out of cloth, you can put the oil on that and have it. So
absolutely.
Oils are your friend.
Yeah, I love that. You can make one for yourself and your friend. So let's talk about social. So this, I think, is going to be one of the areas, that and academics, right? Where people are really going to have more of a challenge, right? Or there's more apprehension and a sense of overwhelm surrounding this area. Like, are my friends still the same friends? Like, we all kind of felt it every year. First day of school, it was kind of like, I got my good outfit. I'm going back. I'm going to this year. I'm going to, you know what I mean? But now it's been like a long time, right? People are really different. And so we need to have grace and space and allow for that to be happening in our children's world the same way it's happening in ours, okay? So this is really focused on sort of the anxiety, if you will, or the need for confidence. You'll see here that I've got Brave, which is an amazing rollerball blend that you can get a hold of. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. No need to mix anything there. Magnolia, I called out specifically because this one is really, really good at sort of diffusing judgment. And as hard as I know none of us likes to think of ourselves as coming from a place of judgment, but let's be real. This has been a polarizing time, and having the ability to be graceful, patient, and not judgmental of everyone's sort of journey over the past year is going to be important. And Magnolia is amazing for this reason. And then Beautiful. This is an incredible, I know it's an exclusive oil, but it's come up several times over the past couple of years for a reason, especially this last year. Another one that is really great for confidence, patience, sort of coming to into things in a space of sort of generosity, right, and love. So it is an incredible rollerball blend. If you don't have it, oh my gosh. Okay, next time it comes out, you need to get it. Okay, but if you do have it, whip that puppy out and start using it. Note there, for all of these tools, don't wait for the first day of school. Start now, okay? Start using that anxieties, those supplements. Start using that rollerball. It takes a little while for things to kind of get rolling in our system sometimes. So I really believe that at least a week, if not more, before things get rolling is the right time to get started with these things. So in addition, I do have some rollerballs for you, as well as a diffuser blend for social anxiety. So my rollerball blend is going to have lavender, elevation, spearmint, confident speech, right? Being able to speak your truth, but in a calm, confident way, not the brain flustered, blah, blah, blah. I'm coming at you from, no, I understand I can speak to you and clarify what my needs are in a calm, respectful way. So spearmint is incredible. And then citrus bliss. So you're going to do equal parts. I'll repeat it for you. Lavender. If you don't want the lavender, use petitgrain. You're going to do equal parts. In this case, I would do 10 drops of each in a 10 mil roller ball. I don't know if my internet got weird for a second there. I apologize if it did. Do I need to repeat, Tammy, or was I okay? Repeat it? Okay, so it's equal parts lavender, elevation, spearmint, and citrus bliss in a 10 mil roller ball. I would do 10 drops of each. Honestly, I think I would go a little bit more on the spearmint, like, if 12 fall in, that's okay. This is going to be an incredible, I love all the oils in here, right? Uplifting. So you've got the calm of lavender, the uplifting sort of nature that's also, it's not uplifting like intense, it's uplifting in like feel good of elevation. You've got the confident speech of spearmint and that citrus bliss with that beautiful citrus base and that little bit of it's got a vanilla in there, right? That grounds it. And it's just a perfect blend. Roll this on as often as you need. Then for a diffuser, you're going to bring in lime, lemongrass, and spearmint. Okay, 3 drops of each in your diffuser. Do it in the car, do it at home before they go to school. If they're really struggling in this area, do it in the bedroom overnight so they're getting a consistent, or if you are, a consistent sort of, dose, if you will. All right? Okay, let's talk sleep. I mean, I don't know, Tammy, I'm hoping that you guys over there are starting already with the new sleep habits, right? Because
oh yeah, we're definitely starting. We've got the no more screen time. We've got the alarm set. We're in the process. It's not easy right now, but we're in the process and it's working, but we're getting there, and they're trying very hard to stay with the program because they're super excited to, start school again after not having any social interaction forever, it seems like. So, and they're, we're doing good. I mean, we get up early. It's the teenager that likes to sleep till 1 that can't happen at school, right?
Yeah. So you're right. Start now, right?
Yeah.
If school doesn't start for you until September, then bless your heart, start now. Move everything 40 minutes or half an hour every couple of days to get back into a good amount of sleep. Look up for the age of your child. Mm-hmm. What is the amount of sleep they need? But also, your person. And if it's you that we're talking, yourself. You know how many hours of sleep you need to be really functioning. Mm-hmm. You need to start moving that needle now. Mm-hmm. Don't wait until Sunday of, tomorrow's first day of school and holy crap, because you're just setting yourself up and them up for disaster.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, and failure, because if they don't want to go and be totally exhausted and falling out. We actually are starting orientation week is the week of August 9th.
Wow.
So we're on the countdown. So
oh my gosh. Yeah, you really are. You're a week. I mean, you're just over what? I guess maybe almost
a week and a half.
Yeah.
A week and a half. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
hard. That's another reason I homeschool. Oh God, the thought of all that scheduling. I'm like, oh my heavens. Yeah. But we've already started our lessons,
Right.
We started last week because for us starting in the summer works better, So we all have our things, but it's a transition. I say we start our lessons, but we haven't started everything. We've started the reading and writing aspect because that was sort of the more gentle lead in. And we're going to be throwing in math and science and history and everything else, right, in the coming weeks. But again, in the same way you're doing with kind of gearing up slowly, we're doing the same thing. We're ramping up slowly because, even for homeschoolers, initially it was like, oh, this is no different. Yeah, no, it got real different real quick because we normally have co-ops and teams and competitions and robot, like all these things that we're always out doing that we weren't doing anymore. And so it is definitely, a different type of transition. So Tammy is asking, will these recipes be posted later on Facebook? They will. So if you are in our Facebook group, then you already know you're good. You're set. If you are not, go join the Facebook group, reach out in there. It'll say, how did you hear? Put down that you did the, back to school workshop. Again, all of August is going to be filled with recipes like this every single day. We're just focusing hard on successful transition back to work, back to school. Okay, so let's talk sleep. I am a big fan of vetiver when it comes to sleep. Vetiver on the feet is like nothing you've ever experienced in your life as far as true restful sleep, especially for people who have sleep issues tied to sort of like the mind not wanting to kind of chill, okay? If your sleep issues are tied to breathing, then let's bring in breathe. If your issues are tied to digestion, let's get working with you on a good digestive health program. But if you are someone who has the racing brain, anxiety, laying there going, well, if I fall asleep now, I can sleep for 8 hours. If I fall asleep now, I can sleep for 4 hours. You know what I'm talking about, right? Vetiver will just calm the mind. On the bottoms of the feet is the best. I do recommend getting a dropper for it, because you will fall asleep waiting for it to come out of the dang on bottle, right? It is thick. It comes from, I say that like my daughter, she says thick, but it comes from grass root of a vetiver grass in Haiti. And this stuff is no joke. It is, I think it gives honey a run for its money, but it is absolutely awesome support. So be sure you have vetiver. So you're going to use here, this is a roller ball, cedar wood, vetiver, lavender or petitgrain, or both if you like, an aroma touch. We've talked about aroma touch a lot last week. Aroma touch has a calming capability that is very different because it also relaxes you, like physically your muscles. So it is a wonderful tool to use. This is going to go on the bottoms of feet. You could also just transition this into a diffuser blend by simply reducing down to about 2 drops of each and putting it in your diffuser overnight. And then for an actual diffuser blend, I've got bergamot, juniper berry, and vetiver, equal amounts, so 2 to 3 drops of each, whatever falls out, right, in your diffuser overnight. That's on top of the things that we already know. Serenity, right? Oh my gosh, I am a huge fan of Serenity. If you're just getting started with oils, start with Serenity for sleep, because it's a blend that has all of the oils that support it. Has oils in there that will support digestive health issues. The Roman chamomile in there. It's got the calming the mind. It's got so many different oils in there. And it's a perfect way to start if you needed just one. Okay, moving on to nutrition. Very important. I mean, do you remember? I remember going to school and coming home, like, all summer you're fine, right? You ate like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You'd go to school and you'd come home and you were like famished, right? It's draining. You are using a tremendous amount of brain power for hours on end. And then in between, let's be real, kids care even more about this. In between classes, you're using even more brain power because it's the social stuff, right? It's like, okay, oh, and this happened, and she said this, and we were going here, and oh my gosh, and da-da-da, and did you see da-da-da? Like a lot happens in that 15 minutes between each class, right? It's adrenaline, and it's exhausting. And you get home and you're just like, I could eat the universe right now. And there's a reason for that. Even though you ate breakfast and you ate lunch at school, you come home starving. You're draining yourself through the process of everything that you need to do in the classroom and everything that's happening outside of the classroom. So hugely important. If your kids are over 110 pounds, a little bit under is okay. You can use Lifelong Vitality, and I would just do a half dose, okay? Up until at least 110 pounds, a half dose if your kids are swallowers. If once they're over 110 pounds, go into a full dose, okay? Really, really important. I'm going to talk a little bit later about our nutrition, line when we talk about family. But for here, I'm just kind of thinking about like what to help when you're like at school. If they are not pill swallowers, the A to Z nutrition, the supplement, it's a chewable. This is fantastic supplement. I will tell you, my older son in college was still using these because he's not a pill swallower. Now he is, but he wasn't at the time. And so we doubled his dose. So, kind of think the opposite of what I just said for the LLV. And then the IQ Mega. You might have noted that this was up there in the focus section. IQ Mega is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is going to be your brain oil superpower right here. Hugely, hugely important for so many different reasons. I really find that for my kids, this is the game changer. This is, our brains just kind of, you've heard of starving brain, syndrome. You've heard of ways in which we need these important oils. We need these tools and we need them working. They're so supportive and it's the easiest thing in the world. If they don't, it tastes just like, I don't know, a spoonful, like we just kind of do like a little tablespoon.
Oranges.
Yeah, it has orange, but it has like an oily, but it doesn't have the fish taste. We've used the other ones in the past. Nordic Naturals, I believe, is the one that we've used prior to our doTERRA one, and loved it, but it did have a lot of that fishy taste to it, or the fishy burps, which you're probably familiar with that. This doesn't have that. It doesn't have that. And so it also blends well into like a smoothie or into something super, super easy. Love it. So check those out. Really important. Last thing, I put health, because more than any other year, we're all really focused on what's it going to be, how can I keep my family healthy when they're going to school and now different levels of interaction and, across the country, across the world, all of these things are in a different place. So I personally feel more comfortable if I have tools in my hands that I can use to really give me the confidence that I know that my family's doing well. I've done what I can. Right? So here, On Guard soft gels, 1 in the morning with the supplements before they head out the door. You will, to tell you, it is the greatest thing I've ever come across as far as just consistent immunity support. Hand sanitizer, send them to school with the doTERRA, the spray hand sanitizer. Look, you can make more. It's really easy. We will be posting the recipes for this in our group, but why specifically this hand sanitizer? I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to a lot of different reports throughout time, but the hand sanitizers that are in this sort of bulk buy situation, if you're using them 7-8 times a day, more than that when you're at school, every time you use the restroom, every time you go in and out, it's a tremendous amount of impact on you as for a lot of different reasons. I'll just leave it there. But you do need that high alcohol. You need it to be the true, the CDC recommendation of killing all of the things. And that's what our hand sanitizer does, but without a lot of the other issues that have come into play. So go ahead, Tammy.
And I was going to say, for the littles, if they can't do the On Guard soft gels, doTERRA makes an On Guard beadlet, which they don't have to bite into. They can swallow. It's teeny, teeny, tiny. It's so easy. And then the hand sanitizer is wonderful if in the event that they have to wear the face mask at school, they can spray it in the face mask also, and it helps open up all of the breathing and everything else.
So true. That's a really good point. I have diffusion listed here too. I cannot say enough. My kids, we have a rule, and this has been our rule way before anything that is in the current era of issues. Every time you get in the car, we all do a hand sanitizer spray on our hands. And before we get out of the car, now I know that seems redundant because we're all in the same car, but it's just worked because it makes us remember. It's almost like you don't touch the door without doing your hands, right? And so we do that. Also in the car, before going to, during cold and flu season, right? Hanging out with our co-op, going to our competitions, doing all these different things that we do. I diffuse On Guard in my car like a mad woman. I swear it cracks me up. It's like, it should be like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right? My van opens and smoke comes out, right? Except in this case, it's On Guard, okay? And I'm just kind of like helping them and helping myself to really get a really good base level. So the On Guard itself is just helping my body do what it does best, okay? It's not going in and doing, it's actually just supporting me in getting into a place of true strength, which the stronger and the more fortified, if you will, that we are, the better we can fight off all of these things that come our way. So keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to move on because yowza, I didn't realize. I was like, this is going to be a quick one. Haha, Kari, always, Okay, teachers, let's talk about our wonderful teacher friends. We love, 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 love all of our educators in all ways, and all, from preschool all the way through college, as well as our yoga teachers, our meditation people, our chiropractor, anybody who's helping to support us, right? Moms, right? Our homeschool teachers, our co-ops, our coaches, right? We're all kind of coming into this new zone, if you will, and needing to kind of get into a place of power, right? So overwhelm. It's going to be, I think it already is, right? Overwhelming. A lot of schools are going to be going through some transitions. Some are wearing masks, some aren't, you know what I mean? It's all of it, right? And it's overwhelming. It's hard because it's changing constantly. So Magnolia, again, as I mentioned before, for a powerful tool to help to support that, coming to everyone with grace as opposed to frustration or judgment. Any of the tree oils. Okay, I'm a big Siberian fir, and now I love that midnight forest blend that we have. It grounds me like instantly. I can feel myself chill out. I'm grounded. And honestly, it brings things into perspective. I'm less likely to start, sometimes we get overwhelmed by stuff that you realize like a month or two later, you're like, I didn't even remember what that was. And then you realize, well, that was just really stupid. I got myself so worked up and I don't even remember what it was. And it does help with that. It helps with that big picture perspective, those tree oils. So, and then diffusion. Diffusion is, I'm turning my pages here. Diffusion is a wonderful key. Use it in your car, use it in your classroom if you have that capability, use it in your home to support that feeling of stress and anxiety. So I do have for you too some rollerball recipes for overwhelm. I love this one: wintergreen, bergamot, and eucalyptus. Yum, right? Tammy's like, yum. It's so good, you guys. This one is deliciousness. You're going to do 10 drops of each in a 10 mil roller ball, top it with fractionated coconut oil, and use it until you are just feeling all that zen, okay? You can switch this also into the diffuser with 2 drops of each in your diffuser. Amazing. If you've got those parent-teacher conferences, you've got those IEPs coming up, you've got, all of the things that are happening that you're just kind of like driving on your way into work and thinking, oh, mercy, please give me some patience here. Put this in your car diffuser and rock it out, all right? In addition to that, I personally find tremendous support for overwhelm by doing a drop or 2 of frankincense and copaiba under my tongue every single day. We have a partner in our group named Trixie who put it the best way. She said, it's like I put my feet on. Like I'm ready to go before I'll walk around all morning and I'll feel kind of off and not right and and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to do my frankincense and copaiba, and boom, I've got my feet on and I'm ready. And it's like, it is really like that. Okay. You can do it as often as you need. I mean, don't be psychotic about it. Like do the whole bottle every day, but I probably do it 2 to 3 times a day. And if I'm kind of in a stressful situation, I'll run and find it. I keep it in my purse. I keep it here on my desk. I've got them ready to go because before I teach these classes, and look, it's stressful, right? It's a lot to remember. It's a lot to think about, man. Copaiba and frankincense under my tongue. Okay. I'm ready. I can do this. I got this. Now, Dr. Maritza Snyder, if you're not familiar with her, look her up. The woman, genius. Yes. Okay. She has an overwhelm rollerball recipe that I'm going to share with you now. It is lavender or petitgrain, 8 drops, cedarwood, 7 drops, vetiver, 5 drops, wild orange, 4, ylang-ylang, 4, top the rest of the way with fractionated coconut oil. I know that was fast. Okay. I'm going to say it one more time because I don't have a slide for it. Lavender, 8, cedarwood, 7, vetiver, 5, wild orange 4, ylang-ylang 4, finish off with fractionated coconut oil. Again, brainstem, pulse points. Go ahead, Tammy.
These are in 10 ml roller bottles, right?
Yes, ma'am. All of them today are in 10 ml roller bottles.
Right. And so we add a little more oil for the roller balls because we're getting the fractionated coconut oil. But when you say you could use the same thing in the diffuser, we use less drops because we're not adding any fractionated coconut oil. And the diffuser helps send that out in the air. Okay. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, no, perfect. Yes, absolutely. So this is a 10 mil roller ball. The diffuser blends, like the one that I was talking about before for the social anxiety one, where we had the lavender elevation, spearmint, citrus bliss. Yeah, just 2 drops of each in your diffuser. So yeah, you're going to greatly reduce. And here's the thing, do what works for you. If you love, like you're like, oh, I just need all the spearmint, then maybe do 4 drops of spearmint and 1 drop of the others. They're not going to do it wrong. You're not going to do it wrong with the diffuser. Have fun.
Right. And, your roller ball is kind of your personal use for when you need it. And diffusing is when you have the opportunity, because, some people don't have an opportunity, even with the pilot diffuser or all these other wonderful self diffusers that we don't have the opportunity to do that. So it's you're kind of you're covered on both bases, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think I really like, anytime I'm not at home, like I said, I use my car diffuser. I like to have my roller balls. I do 5 mil and I do 10. If you're doing a 5 mil, you just cut it in half. But because I can do both, I can do it topically, but like I said, I can put it on my hands and do a nice, hand diffuser, and you'd be shocked at how helpful and supportive that really, really is. And it's this little tiny thing. I have these cute little cases. I keep it in my purse. It's the easiest thing. And it absolutely changes the trajectory of my day. Right. And so it's awesome.
And anybody can reach out to us to get these tools that they need to be able to whatever. So to help them.
1,000%.
Yeah. We got your resources.
Yeah, for sure. And also we can answer your questions, right? To help you to figure out what works best for you. Okay, so in addition, we have already made up touches such as console and peace, which are really, really good for overwhelm. I'm going to throw out here now, if you are on YouTube with us, and if you're just in our Facebook group and you're not in our YouTube channel, go and subscribe to it. Guys, we are putting out so much great information there. Diana just did this amazing, I think it was called Reconnect, Re-engage, Redefine, or Reemerge, I think it was. That is the perfect class for overwhelm in transitioning back into our world. That class, and it's just filled with recipes. Go check that out. It's on there for you. It's just absolutely
wonderful class.
It was so good, right? So now, yes, let's move on to anxiety, the adaptive collection, obviously, but I want to give you some other tools in case. So just to give you a sense of some of the oils that you can use and mix the way that you would like it to be, basil is a fantastic oil that reduces panic. So if you are someone who is not just having anxiety, but you tend to fall into more of the panic attack or the, anxiety attack arena, basil is going to be a really good friend for you. So get some basil in your diffuser, get some basil in your roller balls. In addition, we have bergamot as the oil of self-confidence. I've got geranium for general anxiety. Geranium really speaks to a lot of people. It is one of those that I can't tell you how many times over and over and over again, people will say, man, as soon as I get geranium in my system, I am just good. And so try it and see if you're one of those people, because they will go on and on and on and tell you all about geranium in that way. It's awesome. Jasmine and neroli are both incredible for self-esteem. A lot of the overwhelm that we feel, comes from sort of this sense of, I'm not ready. I don't feel prepared. I don't know that I can handle this. I've got too much going on. These people are coming from all directions. You know, you're familiar, right? And anxiety does the same thing. Anxiety is all triggered by so much of the same thing. So I really love a little bit of jasmine and neroli. They're already in a roller ball, easy to use, right? Social. Let's be real, teachers are social too. They're not only are they social in that they're dealing with their coworkers, but they're also dealing with a lot as far as parents, right? Which I bless you. You think it was hard because look, parents are stressed out. They're freaking out about what's going on with their kids. It's been a rough year, right? I will say this to all the parents out there. Everyone has had a rough year. Get yourself something that's going to help you just relax and know it's all going to work out. It's really all going to work out. Okay. However, for teachers who are just dealing with that situation, you're going to need some support. Patience, I think, is probably a key one. I have a wonderful patience blend for you in a roller ball, 10 mil. Okay. We're going to go equal parts, in this case, 10 drops each. Bergamot, frankincense, balance, and serenity. Patience, okay? Then do those adaptive supplements, and you're going to be like, oh, yes, I understand. And I promise you, we are working on this. But let's talk about how we can, fill in the blank. Like you're going to be in your station, right? Ready to go and be a powerful leader in those conversations. People are, I think we've all seen it already. No further explanation needed here. I do want to check out here. Students, teachers, and parents. Okay, good.
There's also security too.
Social security?
No,
I know. So let's talk sleep. Okay, you're going to be up, you're working hard. I mean, now all of a sudden we're getting up, getting cleaned up, heading out, going somewhere, getting set up. We all know that you guys are there way after the kids go home. You're dealing with grading and all of these things. Serenity soft gels have been an absolute godsend to like my husband, for instance. I really love them. But he is like, oh no, I need he loves them. You can use these with younger people. It's not that they're for adults only. Reach out to one of us to work together on it. It is a wonderful, wonderful tool, but I absolutely recommend it for teachers. And honestly, before I had my adaptive collection, I used the Serenity soft gels to help manage my anxiety throughout the day. It doesn't make you tired. It helps you to just kind of get into that zone of chill, which allows you to fall asleep. Does that make sense? Whereas if you have anxiety issues, it allows you to get into that place of chill so that you can teach a class, take your kids to a thing, do whatever needs to be done in your life, right? So it has that flexibility. There's no like, ooh, I'm tired. Okay. It's more like, oh, I can sleep now. Vetiver.
You know what? I use the Serenity soft gels and they help tremendously, but sometimes, especially if I got a lot going on, I will take the vetiver at night and I will put a couple drops with my dropper on my big toe.
Yeah.
Because that's the reflexology point to my brain. And even if I happen to wake up to take care of a personal issue in the middle of the night, when I use my vetiver, I can go and lay back down and my mind will turn off again. Yeah. If I find that if I don't use that vetiver, then I'll get back into bed and I'll start chink, chink,
yeah,
chink,
like
chink.
reeling. Yeah.
Yeah, like, what time is it? What do I have to do? But that vetiver helps me get through that gap.
Yes, it is a powerful tool. It's one of my top 3 oils. Okay, I mean, I am team vetiver, frankincense, copaiba, vetiver. Never without them. They are my power hitter oils, not just because of what I've seen in my life, but because for the past 4 years of what I've seen in so many lives of people what vetiver has done, it will make me cry. So I'm not going to, it's just been a life changer for so many people.
If you need testimonies, just hit us up.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we are Team Vetiver, right?
Yeah, we work with it all the time. I'm working with it all the time because of, I'm a mother of 5 and I work with, education in a lot of ways, and I'm working with children in a lot of ways. I get a lot of questions asked to me about, especially kids and people who are really kind of in a space of really needing something. And vetiver has just really come to the rescue, come to the aid so many times. Incredible oil.
Right. And as a certified cranial sacral therapist, I can highly recommend vetiver.
Yes, it's
awesome. Great for the brain. Frankincense and vetiver and copaiba, top 3.
Yes. Brain, amazing. Okay, we're going to do a whole class on vetiver. So nutrition, you got to take care of yourself, right? You're running out the door. You're here, you're there. You're giving. Our teachers give so much. They're just they give until they can't give anymore. It's the nature of people who are just driven to teach, is that they are givers, and you gotta keep yourself full so that you can give, right? Keep yourself fortified and ready to go. Lifelong vitality. I am not kidding you. Man, if I had the ability to just make sure that every teacher had this just in their life, I would do so that they could have this tool to keep themselves fueled and ready to roll. I have Deep Blue Poly on here as well, but also, check out on our channel. We do have a great class on nutrition and supplementation that Romelia teaches. It is fantastic, where she really breaks down everything. And so there you can kind of listen and see what your needs are, right? And that's what's important. The Deep Blue Poly, though, is fantastic for, it's really, really good for inflammation, right? You're standing all day long in a lot of cases, or you're sitting all day long in a lot of other cases, right? It's either one of which is not good all the time. So having the tools of the Deep Blue Poly is fantastic. It's also really, really good for depression. It's really, really good for emotional support. And so I wanted to include it here so that it would be a supportive tool for you. And Tammy, you were going to say on Mito 2 Max too, which you're right, such a powerhouse.
Yeah, the Mito 2 Max is a wonderful powerhouse for giving you that sustained energy throughout the day. It's not that shaky one, but it's that one that when you're ready at 2-3 o'clock to take a nap, you don't, because you have Mito 2 Max.
Yeah, it's not a stimulant. It actually just fuels your mitochondria to build their own natural energy. So the energy is just natural. It's that I'm having a great day. I feel good. Wow, I've got a lot of I've gotten a lot of stuff done today. It's like, it's that, right? And you kind of go, wow. And then, how other days you're like, I barely finished my coffee and it was bedtime, right? That's a non-Mito 2 Max day. Mito 2 Max days are those days where you're just like, I made it through my whole to-do list without a single problem, and I'm ready to do a couple more things. Maybe I'll do a craft project, like those kind of days, right?
Well, and just to iterate, when we were traveling and my husband was driving, 5 hours a day, he would be sure to say, please make sure I get my 2 Mito 2 Max in the morning, because that kept him alert and aware, and it just is, and it was a calm, he could be driving through these mountain passes, twisty turn, and it's not a shaky, it's a focus, relaxed presence.
Yeah. Well, great. And I'm going to throw out there, he was also pulling a 30-foot RV.
Yeah, 32-foot.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's, if you've never done it and it's your first big outing, it's very stressful. You have to be on your game the whole time. So yeah, it wasn't just driving for 5 hours. It was intense driving. For 5 hours. So we're familiar with that. You have to be on point. So yeah, a great tool. Health. Okay. We've talked already a little bit about the importance of having hand sanitizer. Guys, really be super, super strong on your hand sanitizer for yourself throughout the whole day. Just kind of keep it constantly with you. What I love about our hand sanitizer is it does not dry out your hands. It is moisturizing. You won't have dry, brittle nails. You won't have dry, brittle skin. It is soothing. It is wonderful. And it is super duper effective, okay, without all of the problems that we, have mentioned before. In addition to that, you're really going to be thinking about your diffuser. We're going to talk later about classroom, however, or in a minute about classroom. However, keep that diffuser going for you all the time, anywhere that you can. If you have an office, absolutely have that going. If you are allowed to use diffusers in the classroom, have that going. Just at your desk, have something going. Breathing it in through a necklace or jewelry or a diffuser of some sort that is like a jewelry based, have that going on with your On Guard happening. I love it in my car, but for teachers, you're interacting with so many people who are touch points in so many different areas around all of your county or whatever. On Guard should be kind of like in all of your diffusers, okay? You want to have kind of that consistent support. I mean, in regular times, we all know our poor teachers are the first, ones who are always getting sick because the students are bringing all of the slobbery goopies, right, to school. And so it's a great, great way. That On Guard soft gel every single day, hugely, hugely important, right?
I want to add something about the On Guard. Every year we get the classroom list of things to bring, and one of it is the sanitizing soap. Well, doTERRA makes a foaming hand wash that is On Guard, that is totally not like one of my littles, when she was little, she would come home from school and her hands would be raw and starting to rash. And it was because of all of the soaps that the Clorox wipes and the soaps. And so, I went to her teacher and I said, hey, can I bring this On Guard foaming hand wash and put it there? And they were like, okay. And I said, in addition, can I make an On Guard wipe, which is super easy? We can give you the recipe for that instead of using the Clorox or Lysol wipes. And I'll tell you what, there was so much leftover soap and wipes because the kids loved using the On Guard wipes. And that class had the least amount of absences that year. And the principal even came to me and was like, what the heck's going on? And I explained. And so, we work things out, but it's so much more beneficial for our kids to be using these products, these natural, safe, holistic products than the toxic chemicals that they ask you to bring.
Especially when it's every day, all day, right?
Yeah, multiple times a day. I mean, they're washing their hands all day long. They're wiping their tables all day long.
Yeah.
It's so crucial. And it's profound. And we have the research to show you and share with you. So reach out to us if you want to know more. But
yeah, it's huge. And it's going to be even harder or even more strict, if I will, this year, right? So really, really important to have the right tools. So that foaming hand wash is absolutely amazing. Teachers, have that in your classroom if you have a sink in your classroom. By the way, if you don't have the hand sanitizer, and you can just do a little splash or a little squirt of the foaming hand wash in the hands and use it as a hand. You don't have to rinse it off. Okay. It's really that it works so beautifully that way. Also, when we talk about classrooms, I'm going to give you a little cheat on how to turn your plugins into doTERRA plugins. I'm so excited about it. I cannot even tell you, because a lot of schools do not allow diffusers, but they do allow those terrible toxic. I'm sorry. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to be opinionated here. Reach out if you don't believe me. I'm all down. I will have that conversation. We're going to get you some plugins or teach you a way to use your plugins with your doTERRA oils, which is awesome. so that you're no longer having to do those like whatever.
Toxic.
Yeah, it's just rough.
It's toxic. And if you don't believe it's toxic, go out to EWR or Think Dirty. Do your research, right? Do your research.
Yes. It's ewg.org, okay, or the Think Dirty app. So yeah, definitely check that out. Really, really important. So taking care of your health. I do want to point out too, having some spray bottles, get some glass spray bottles. Okay. Get the cleaning concentrate. And this is to protect you. I know that we're going to talk a little bit about it in classroom, but if you're just really, really good about, when the kids enter and leave the classroom, if they're in a line, hey, one of the rules is everybody, I'm sure they're going to already have it as a rule, is use the hand sanitizer. Make sure that you're bringing in your really good hand sanitizer as well. In addition, having a cleaner that you can spray down the doorknobs, all of the high traffic areas in the classroom, your desk, the things on your desk, and the desks in the classroom, that's going to be a huge help. So please, please, please prioritize taking care of yourself. And I love, we have a Facebook user saying, Plus On Guard smells so good in the diffuser. It is flipping delicious. It is orange, clove, cinnamon, rosemary. I'm not remembering what else, but those are the notes that I pick up on when I'm enjoying it. It is amazing. It's like constant fall Christmas, and it's really, really effective. So, all right, moving on to our next topic, which is going to be families, right? So our families are needing some support right now. Let's talk homework. Your homework station. I know we've got a lot of people on our team who, as homeschoolers, everything's homework, right? Sort of, not really. I'm kidding. But nonetheless, you need to set up a good situation of support here. Creating a routine, all right? Not allowing for the kids to sort of like put it off until 11 at night. And then, oh, by the way, I have to do 3 chapters. It's never going to work. And this is going to require you, I think even more so this year, because now we're going to go back to a format of kids go to school and then they come home and we don't have the constant communication that you did when they're online learning. Right? Because you can look stuff up so easily. I know that they have that in a lot of schools where you can look things up, but not everyone does, right?
Well, and I think schedules are changing. I mean, everybody's trying to adapt to what we're doing right now. And some places are virtual, some are semi-virtual, some are, so, adaptation is the key, and just make it work.
Yeah. I like having a diffuser going as soon as people get home. Okay. One of my favorite diffuser, well, I've got a few that I'm going to share with you, but I love rosemary. I really love, sometimes I just put rosemary alone in my diffuser. In fact, right now I have it going in my diffuser in my kitchen because I just find it to be so grounding and supportive. But guess what? It's great for memory. So getting them started with vetiver, some cedarwood, rosemary, and lavender in a diffuser as soon as they get home from school. Okay, get a good snack in them. Okay, a good healthy snack. Get them rehydrated. They're not drinking enough water at school. Let's be real. And dehydration causes lack of focus. It makes us tired. It makes us irritable. We're unable to concentrate. We are really not functioning right. And if you are not fully hydrated, you're just fighting an uphill battle for no reason. It's flipping water, people. It's easy and it's free. So,
and if the kids don't want to drink water because it's blah, there are so many fabulous oils that you can add. You got the whole citrus line, you got spearmint, everything else, and make it fuzzy water. Yeah.
You can do the fuzzy water, like we're talking like a
Pellegrino or a mineral water or something that add, make them think that they're getting something special, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So it really does make a big difference. Oops, let me see. I just did something. Did I mess you up at all over there, Tammy? No, you're good. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it whatever it takes, but don't bring in sugar. Don't bring in a lot of salt, and be sure that you're really kind of thinking about those things. Sugar is so hard because it kind of lifts up and then it crashes, but then it also depletes. All right. And it also adds to a really unhealthy gut situation. So really try your best to avoid juices and any type of sodas or, I don't know, we get all that like Kool-Aid, I don't know, whatever's out there, right? Not that you can't have those, but let's not have them right after school, right? Let's wait till homework's done and our, when we're ready to just retire the old brain for the day, kind of think of it like, are you going to have a cocktail right before you try to do something really important? Probably not. Giving your kids a lot of sugar right before we're trying to ask them to do something that they need to really deal with and focus on is not the best idea. All right. In a very similar way, because there's a high and then there's a crash. And once you hit the crash, I'm sorry, but all bets are off, right? So good healthy snack when you get home from school or options for that, and a lot of water. Okay, so in addition to that, we want to have some diffusers going. I already talked about that, and have a routine. Have an expectation of when homework needs to be done and be engaged in what's happening. I love Intune. Intune is a fantastic rollerball blend. I know so many people in our community who just cannot be without this. I know so many kids. I've worked with so many people where this is the rollerball that they take to school all day with them. This is a power hitter. All right, get that going. Let them have a little bit of break time to let their brains, decompress. And then let's get that homework done before dinner if possible. I know high school is different. Trust me, I get it. But do what you can, because the longer you go, the brain is just getting more tired. And the more tired it is, the less, everything takes longer. So it's almost like the later you push it, the longer it's going to take. And oh my God, have I been there. So really try to work on that. I mean, we all kind of laugh at the get home, get the homework done, and then have the day. But let's be real, right? It is the best way. So I'm going to give you some other peppermint wild orange, uplifting and focusing. Smells amazing in your diffuser. That is the perfect welcome home. Okay. Bergamot, adaptive, and lavender. For that a little bit more I don't want to do the homework because it's hard. For that kid or that person, that's your roller. That is going to be your diffuser blend. Bergamot, adaptive, and lavender. Rock in there. You can also turn any of these into a roller ball by simply just upping the amount, top it with fractionated coconut oil, and use it the way that works best for you. I really like brainstem, temples, wrists, up into the creases of the elbow, along this vein. I don't know if you can see me right along here, right? Rub together. Good breath in. On with my day. It takes 2 seconds, right? Really, really important. Time management ties in with our homework situation. So for time management, you really do want to start to have a schedule. Start the schedule now, like Tammy's doing, right? Start the schedule now. Start working on a bedtime. Start working on a dinner time. I'm not talking military. Trust me, I am not that person. When I say time management, what I really think of more is routine. This comes before this, and then this happens after that. I don't have a 6 o'clock, bing, ding. My brain, that causes me anxiety. But a routine to me is sort of like, this is the order in which we do things. And that really for young people, that consistency and reliability can be super, super supportive in so many different ways. In fact, some kids actually get a lot of stress and anxiety from not knowing the expectations. So consider that as, work out what works best for your family. I will tell you, when my boys were younger, and I mean a lot younger, like preschool age, if you will, in an age range, my husband worked all the time, and he worked, we were in the DC area, and the commute there was horrible. Okay. So my kids slept late and stayed up late. Otherwise they would never see their dad. I mean, he wouldn't get home at night until after 8:30. All right. So if they wanted to have any time with dad, which of course they wanted, and we wanted, to us, that was a priority. It meant that they were going to be up for about an hour, hour and a half after dad got home. They had already had dinner. They'd already had their day, but dad got home. They would goof off, play about, and then they'd go to bed, and they would sleep later than other kids. That was our priority. That was our routine, but we had a good reason for that. So do what works for you. Okay. Just to throw that out there. Next is going to be talking about support. So asking questions. I mean, you guys know this, right? But this year, I think it's going to be even more important. Inquire about what's going on at school. Really be super into, hey, let me see, what are you working on? Explain it to me. How does that work? It's us parents. Our job is going to be really a lot harder this year. You thought it was hard when you had to start doing homeschool-ish stuff with the online learning and so on. This transition, I think, is going to be even harder because you're really going to have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to communicate best with your kids on what is what and staying engaged to pick up on areas that maybe they're struggling. Teachers are going to be super overloaded, right? A lot of kids are going to come back not, in fact, all kids, I would guess, are going to come back not where they were. Their trajectory has changed and your kids are the same. So, really, really communicating in a way that you really care. Like, hey, every night after dinner, we sit down and we kind of evaluate, or every day when you get home from school, if you're able to be at home when your kids arrive home from school, right? Let's sit down and let's break down what's going on. How was this? How was that? Super duper engaged as best you can be, right? And then be an example. When I say be an example, the most supportive thing you can do is noting to, you know what, I'm going to bed. I'm putting my Serenity in my diffuser. I'm putting the vetiver on my feet and I'm going to bed now because I have a very busy day tomorrow and I need to be focused for it. Or, if you're sitting around watching movies until 3 a.m. and why would your kid, you know what I mean? Like they're going to be like, well, this is what we do, the house shuts down, right? I know that it's a pain. I get it. And this is more geared toward people who this, they're this sort of like more natural, free, open aspect is not working for them. You really kind of need to show up as the example. Sleep, keeping that schedule, using your Serenity, employing those diffusers, guys. I will say my number one rule for sleep is vetiver on the feet, just like Tammy said. Put it on those big toes, rub it on the feet, put it in the diffusers. If your household is struggling with falling asleep at night, meaning you have a high energy household that kicks into gear at 10:30 at night, start that diffuser at 9:30 with vetiver in it. And I mean to tell you, you'll look around and go, okay, my work here is done. I have done what I need to do. I have worked out. I'm slowly moving, right? So Tammy's whole house smells like vetiver right now because she's trying to move that sleep schedule, right? Nutrition, hugely important. I've got a whole page of notes over here. This is where I would say, okay, breakfast, guys. I know. I have never been a breakfast eater. I don't like breakfast. My stomach does not enjoy breakfast first thing in the morning. Never has in my entire life, right? We're all different that way. But I will say this. We know that when you go to school or when you're off all day like that, even if you're just going to work, there's a very long period where then you can't eat. And then it starts to become a real problem and you get like the 2 o'clock slump and you start kind of falling apart, right? Come up with a plan that works for you guys for breakfast, whether it's overnight oats or, whatever, I used to make these. I loved them. They were like these muffins. I'd use the muffin tin and make sort of like mini quiches and pop them in the freezer. And then they microwave like super quick and easy. So nice each day. But our nutrition line, the new nutrition line, talk about fast and easy. This is like add water and go, or throw it in a blender with some, fruit or whatever it is that you like and go. Tammy, you've been really doing a lot with the nutrition line.
Yes, and I love it because the nutrition line is so flexible. I can get my little, not to throw brands out there, but my little shaky uppy bottle, and I can put a scoop and I can do water. I can do coconut water. I can do coconut milk. I can do almond milk, whatever milk. And just without any added things, I get a fabulous protein, nutritious drink right off the bat. Vanilla or chocolate. They also have a vegan that is a vanilla flavor. But then I like to, even with the plain like that, use my oils, right? So if I'm doing the plain, I'll throw a little wild orange in there. plain vanilla and it's like a dreamsicle, or lime for key lime pie, or chocolate. I might add cardamom in there or something, and it's really good. Then one of my little spawnlings.
Your phone is cricketing at you.
Oh, I know. Yeah, my cricket is their favorite is chocolate with banana and peanut butter.
Okay.
And I throw it in the blender, just like that. What do you call those little bullet blenders?
Yeah.
Little ice. And they can have breakfast on the road to school and be nourished. So lots of alternatives. And then I can throw all of the supplements in there and I'm happy. Sorry.
Absolutely.
My frog's messaging me.
Oh, it's a frog. Oh, no, it's a cricket, but frog is messaging. I love it.
Right.
So, yeah, it's true. And I mean, and peanut butter is a wonderful thing to add in there, especially, do a natural peanut butter, reduce sugar, guys, like really, really. And this is, again, geared toward if you're struggling in these areas. If what you're doing is working, then yeehaw you, high five, yeehaw, right? But if you're finding that you're struggling, start looking at things like nutrition, start looking at things like, communication, start looking at things like bedtime and sleep quality and whether or not homework is lingering. I mean, God, do you remember? I hated that feeling of needing to fall asleep, but knowing that my stuff wasn't done for school the next day. Talk about an unrestful sleep that just set you up for failure the next day, right? It's hard. So nutrition is huge. Again, avoid sugar, too much salt because of dehydration issues. So like I will tell you, last night we ordered, it was so good, some really good Chinese food, and it was amazing. But both Annabelle and I woke up in the night and we're like meeting up in the kitchen. Tammy, I'm going to mute you because you're.
I'm sorry.
You're good. But because we were both like, I'm so thirsty. Why am I so thirsty? Oh yeah, because like we just downed a tremendous amount of salt, right? So hugely important. Okay, health. Use your oils, guys. You know what to do. You have, and your home, this is your domain. This is your command center, okay? This is where you actually do have all of the control. You get out that On Guard cleaning concentrate. You make sure everybody's doing those hands constantly. You make sure everybody's using their On Guard oil, make sure that they're, using it in their diffuser, everywhere that they can. You make sure that, every day everybody's doing an On Guard soft gel, or that maybe weekly you're doing a boost of a flume, which is frankincense, lemon, oregano, On Guard, and melaleuca in a veggie cap, usually 4 drops each. Take that once a week to boost and support your body's natural immune function. Huge power tools. This is the happy zone, okay? There's no rules here. It's your rules. So you get to be in charge of making sure that these things are happening. I love my On Guard cleaning concentrate and adding a little bit more of the On Guard oil to it and spraying down the bathroom. All right. Because I know not only does it kill everything, but it kills it for hours after. And so knowing that all the door handles and all the little things like that in my house where things are typically like, look it up. You can look up the areas in your home where most sort of like germs spread, right? Spray those when you just think of it. I'm not talking be militant. I'm just mean like have one of those bottles sitting around. Mine doesn't even have a place where it goes because it just sits around the house. And when I see it, I grab it and I'm good. It's amazing. So those diffusers rocking with the On Guard, again, in the car, one of my favorite places. So those families are great. So let's talk about classrooms, because I know this is a really, really hard, more challenging area for our teachers. And these are also ways, like if you're not a teacher, you're a parent, make some notes here about ways that you can support your teachers. Like Tammy said, showing up with that, On Guard foaming hand wash, right? To support the classroom. Okay, so let's say you have a high energy classroom. You teach 4th grade or whatever, right? And you're, everybody's, it's just a high energy location. Boy, some vetiver, some calmer, some balance, huge, wonderful tools. I really like vetiver cedarwood. lavender and balance. Go ahead, Tammy.
I was going to say, this is kindergarten, because in kindergarten, they would come in the morning and they would be all like, could barely move. And so we would do, and actually I did this in the kindergarten because I had an amazing teacher that did this with me. And we would do wild orange or citrus bliss, and that would kind of wake them up. Then we would stop. Yeah. I have muted these, so I don't know what's going on. Then in the afternoon, when they would go to lunch and they would come back to class, their energy would be so high. We would do like a balance, or even a balance and lavender mix, but then not too much to slow them down, because we want them to think. So wild orange is great for that. Just wild orange.
Yeah.
It's calming, but it keeps the mind. And then you can add a little peppermint. And that we had amazing results with our kinders.
For sure. It's incredible what you can do. I taught a workshop with a partner of mine, Michelle, who is an incredible yogi, and she's just genius in these areas. And we taught a class at one of the big teacher conventions here in Albuquerque, and tied together the use of oils and yoga in the classroom. And I'm not talking like get out your yoga mat, take off your shoes, just basic practices that are game changers in the classroom. So for high energy, let's say kids are bouncing, like you said, coming back from recess, right? Or whatever it is. And then you need them to focus because it's time to take a test, or it's time to, you're the, the language arts teacher, right? Which is like quiet focus, or math, whatever, right? Just simply teaching a breathing exercise, right? For younger people, or all people, and honestly, I use it myself all the time, which is just a good, deep, full breath in, okay? Just through the nose, so powerful. And breathe in for 3, and then exhale for 3 through the mouth. And do that 3 times. Just that will bring a calm across your entire room. All right. You need to be serious about it so that they understand it's serious, that this is something that we do at school that helps us regroup, that helps us get back into focus, that helps us come together. Okay. However, when you do that, and they will, it amazes me. It resonates. Okay. And what's beautiful is it's free. Okay. You can have this at any time. You can utilize this at any time. And they can too, anytime that they're feeling stress. So it's a powerful tool. Support. So here in support, I was really thinking along the lines of sometimes it can be challenging when you're working with kids who require a bit more support. Vetiver is a powerful tool here. No, you cannot apply oils to children in your classroom, okay, without permission. That is I'm pretty sure that is a blanket rule in most schools. And it makes sense, but if you can get a diffuser going, if you can make, if they're like no diffusers, for whatever reason, diffusers have like, I don't know what it is, but they allow you to use room sprays and they allow you to use plugins, which, okay, whatever, same diff, but okay, less effective, more toxic, but all right, but we're going to work around that. A room spray with just some vetiver. All right. Spray your classroom before the kids come back from recess. Spray the classroom before a big test. Spray the room. Okay. Then, it will just be so supportive to you and everyone in the room to bring some balance back into play. Over here for social, I have here really thinking about, in this case, kids who are, because you see I have conflicts down there, right? Kids who struggle socially and how you can be supportive in the classroom for them. If it's a day of presentations, let's say it's show and tell. I don't know if schools still do that. Gosh, I hope they do, because I loved show and tell so much. But or maybe a presentation that they have to give, or a test, or maybe you're a foreign language teacher and they have an oral exam. Some spearmint. Get spearmint rocking. Here's the thing. Spearmint doesn't just help to support the idea of speaking. It helps you with organizing your thoughts as they're coming out of your mouth. I know it sounds weird, but I'm telling you, try it. I cannot tell you how powerful spearmint is for me all the time when I'm trying to teach or just communicate, especially when because I know I talk a lot, but man, when I was a kid, especially, you could not get me in front of a classroom to talk. I was like I was the kid in the back of the class who knew the answers, but never raised my hand for terror that I would have to speak, right? Spearmint helps to kind of alleviate that, gives you confidence because you know what you want to say. So you're eager to share it, right? Huge, powerful tool for you here. We're going to have so many more tools on this throughout our sort of month of education. And by the way, we'll be back here also on YouTube Live doing a whole bunch of these classes throughout the month on these areas specifically. This is more of the overview, which I know it's running so long, and I'm sorry, and bless your hearts for still being here. But okay, conflicts. It happens, okay? Especially in your, elementary, middle school, high school years, not necessarily in college, I hope, but nonetheless, maybe it does. Being able to facilitate communication, and help people to reach a space of calm. One of my favorite ways that Michelle has taught us is something as simple as having, you can kind of sense it. If you are an experienced educator, you know the signs, you see it happening, you can feel that energy happening in the classroom. And this is the time to have everybody stand up, have everybody take their time to do a good stretch, kind of pull them into their body and out of their heads, right? Hugely easy. This is like less than a 5-minute little activity. I know the day is cramped and you're thinking like, I got time to bring yoga. No, this is going to save you time because this is less than 5 minutes. If you have younger students, getting them into a downward dog helps to alleviate anger. It helps to reduce frustration. In addition to that, and you can look this up, but the child's pose, which it's my favorite. I could stay in that position like all day, every day. It is incredibly diffusing, meaning it just diffuses frustration and overwhelm and anger. It's like the fetal position, if you will, as far as like, oh, I feel good. 2 minutes. That's all you need. 2 minutes in child's pose changes the energy in the entire classroom. All right. So again, we're going to have a lot more information like this. Get adaptive going in that diffuser, right? I also have for you here, rollerball with permission. Go ahead, Tammy.
I was just going to say, just even if they don't have room to do child's pose or do any yoga, sitting at their desks, if you could just have them visualize grounding their feet on the floor and like a tree root sending it down. And that deep breath. I mean, I don't even know what classrooms are going to look like when we go back. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen pictures of kids in little plexiglass boxes that I don't even know if they're going to be able to do yoga poses. So, just to ground and
breathe
and bring their presence. I guess that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
it is. Bring their presence back to where they are and in a positive way.
Yeah. It's going to pull them out of. So you're exactly right. Like you can do it at your desk. You could do, everybody put your head, remember, that's what our teachers used to do to us back in the day. Put your heads down. Remember that? Put your head down and do a visualization. You can lead a visualization. You need to pull them out of the moment, right? And get them back to a space of positive energy and positive focus. So it really does work beautifully. Research has been done. I will share all of that in our group over the coming weeks in August. The research is fantastic, and it has been a game changer, especially in special needs classrooms and integrated classrooms where we have a lot of kids who are kind of in different areas and different capability levels all coming together and need this. But this support works for everyone. This support works for teacher, so really powerful. And again, homework. Hey, you got that homework anxiety? Let's do some breathing. right? Let's take a moment. It's really, really powerful. Keeping classroom focus, vetiver, rosemary, in tune, right? And this is where I wanted to share with you. So if you, I'm going to do a whole video. It will be coming up in the next, I don't know if it'll be the end before this weekend's or next week, but about how to hack your plugins. So please, please, please do not, I know so many people, I get it. You go and you see lavender plugin from whatever company, and you're allowed to use plugins in your classroom, and you think lavender, hey, lavender's calming, right? It totally makes sense. But unfortunately, even if it says it's made with essential oils, there's a whole bunch of other stuff in there. And that other stuff causes extreme stress for a lot of people. It causes people to feel agitated and frustrated and impatient. And it really can lead to a toxic classroom environment. And ironically enough, the kids who are most agitated by it are the ones who are like, oh, I love that. And they're always it's the weirdest thing, but it's true. They're drawn to it. They need more of it. It's almost like there's a level of intoxication, right? And it's really, really not good. So what you can do is I will share with you guys as a way to sort of break them open, clean them, plug them in, and have it be vetiver, have it be, bergamot that you are able to then use in the classroom. And it's not a diffuser, and it's not on person, and it is absolutely within the rules of the school. So I'm so excited about it. I've been working so hard on this because I'm passionate about this. So yeah, watch for that video. Health. Oh my gosh. So what I do is, even when in our homeschool group, it's like, hey, as you're coming in the room, hand sanitize, I'm holding it. Okay. Let me watch you. Let me watch you. Let me watch you, to make sure that everybody is clean, right? If I have kids doing sneezing, coughing, things of that nature, we're certainly paying attention to that at a much higher level than in the past. But even with that, if you can diffuse on guard in your classroom, you're golden. I mean, you really are golden. You're going to be able to really make a powerful impact on the spreading of those germs. Like Tammy said, being able to use the foaming hand wash. Yeah. So Tammy, what are you saying there? You diffused in all. Yeah.
Oh
yeah, we did in our co-op. Yeah.
Right. So we have a special relationship because we had a homeschool co-op, but we would diffuse in our homeschool co-op. We would use the hand sanitizer. We would use the hand wash. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because I would find that as we would diffuse oils, we had a very open classroom, so kids could get up and move freely. This was our homeschool co-op. Certain kids at certain different times of the day would get up and move towards the diffuser, depending on what we were diffusing. Do you remember that, Kari?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's amazing how kids instinctively know the benefits of these natural products, and just give them a chance. Yeah. Well, it helps them feel good. But if we just give them a chance, we're only enhancing the beautiful beings that we have the opportunity to teach and grow.
Yeah. It's true. And being able to, if you're able to do that, that's fantastic. I know a lot of teachers here in our Albuquerque area who are able to use diffusers in the classroom and do use them and love it. Okay. Another tip I'm going to give you as far as health goes, if the school's going to mandate that you use certain cleaners in the classroom, it's just how it is. And of course they need to do so because they need sort of a blanket strategy across all classrooms. However, most cleaners like a bleach and an ammonia, things of that nature, are going to kill stuff. However, they kill it and that's it, right? I personally love, and I have a friend who's a teacher who does this. So, the janitorial staff, gosh, love those people, right? They come in, they clean the classrooms each day. Of course, now they're doing it in a more often. But before her kids arrive, she goes through and sprays down all the desks, all the chairs, all the light switches, all the little centers, all the little things with the On Guard spray that she's made, which is just the cleaning concentrate and water and some more On Guard. You don't have to rinse it away. There's no soapiness aspect to it. And the beauty of this is not only does it kill everything that the other stuff does, but it lasts for hours. And so then even if a kid who's, the snotty whatever kid is then touching everything, it's okay because she knows it's killing everything, right? Then at lunch break, she does it again. And I mean to tell you, the results have been fantastic as far as reducing, like you said, number of absences, her own getting sick, everything. It's just a powerful way. And it's so easy. It takes like 5 minutes while you're sort of, chatting, doing your thing. Like, okay, I'm just doing my walk around, really, really powerful. So I know this has gone so long. I can't believe it. I have to laugh at myself because you guys are going to die, but I really thought this would be like a 20-minute class. And now I'm at an hour 45. So am I really? Oh, I'm at an hour 40. So I just want to throw out there again, go down into the comment section. I will add Tammy's information there as well, or go down into the, description section here. If you're on Facebook, you already know this, so you're good to go. But August is going to be all about Education Month. We do have a separate workshop group that is a Facebook group that's been together for 2 years now, at least, on Facebook. That's just for teachers. And we just share every once in a while. It's a very kind of casual, low key. It kind of ramps up right now because of back to school, and then it settles back down. But you can definitely find great support, recipes, protocols, ideas, and other teachers in there who are looking for support. If that's a community that you're interested in, that link is below. August is going to be 30 days of back to school success in our Ravens Nest members and friends group. So check that out. And then watch on YouTube. If you're not on Facebook, keep watching because we're going to have a lot of lives throughout the month, just specifically about students, parents, teachers, and classroom resources and tools for you guys. So Tammy, thank you so much.
Thank you. And you know what? Parents, I tell you what, parents, whether you're a parent or a teacher or parent-teacher, we got this. And we have the tools. So just reach out to us. Let us help you. That's what we're here for. We're here to help and serve you.
Yes. So have questions? Absolutely reach out, right? Okay. Have a great night. Thank you for hanging out with us, or a great day whenever you happen to be listening to this on replay. And we look forward to seeing you guys next month. So August is a week away. It's less than a week away, guys. Oh, where is the time going? So have a good one. Thank you.